The popularity of Chelsea boots has ebbed and flowed over time, but I think it's safe to say that for now, they're having a moment. And with how popular Barefoot shoes are, it was just a matter of time before the two clashed. A lot of the Barefoot brands out there have their own Chelsea boots, but the first one that we've been able to pick up is the Lems Chelsea, and we went with the all waterproof version. It had $175 and 9.8 ounces. These are actually a really good value for Chelsea boots, but how do they stack up against the rest of the boots that we have reviewed this fall and winter? Come along and let's find out. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sons of Sever YouTube channel, where there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. My name is Eric, and today we are talking about a bit of a different boot for us. This is the Lems Chelsea boot. And what makes it different for us is that this one is more fashion forward than anything else. We haven't reviewed any dress shoes really yet. We've reviewed a bunch of different boots that can kind of be dressed up, but nothing so formal as this one. So we're excited to give you our thoughts about it. Chris and I are going to ping pong back and forth, telling you our likes and our dislikes about the boot. As always, there are timestamps down in the description, and if you want to go jump around, then feel free to use those. But I'm going to send it over to Chris now so that he can start us out with his likes.
I'm going to kick off my likes of the Chelsea boot by talking about the expectations I had of it, which were actually not very good. Historically, I thought that Chelsea boots were for women, and so getting a pair as a guy, I wasn't a huge fan of that idea, but Eric went straight for them. He really wanted them, thought they looked good. He got them in the brown, which personally I thought at the time the brown made them look a little bit more girly, and I was apt to let Eric do this video as a solo video. But they came out with the black, and they talked a lot about the DNA features that it inherited from the Primal Zen, which I absolutely love. And somewhere along the way, those things convinced me that I wanted to try these out, and now I'm glad that I did. I've actually come to really like how these things look, especially in this really like soft leather black colorway that they ended up coming out with. I think they look good casually. I wear them a lot casually, but I also think that they can be worn formally to like church, weather dependent, if it's cold, slushy, rainy, but not frozen and slippery. These things are going to be good in those formal situations. I also love the convenience factor of these shoes. I put them on a lot for little errands that are just kind of around town or around the house. So if it's cold, wet, and slushy outside and I need to go take the garbage out, I'm going to slip on the Chelsea boot. So convenient to slip on. That elastic is very, very nice, and I can fit my big old feet down in those ankle holes real easily. If you've been with us for any extended period of time on this channel, you know I love it when my boots slip on and off, and that's the name of the game with these Chelsea boots. I think they perform really well. The waterproofing has been 100% for Eric and I. As long as you're not pushing them past their limits as far as like the capabilities of the outsole go when it comes to those wet and possibly slippery conditions, then these perform really well. They're also very comfortable on the foot, and that's where we'll start talking about some of the Primal Zen DNA that it inherits. One of the things that we love about the Zen is it has Lem's widest toe box. Obviously it's zero drop, and then it's pretty dang flexible as well, considering it's 15-ish millimeters. Now that's actually going to be different for me with the Chelsea boot, because I found that taking the insole out of these made them more comfortable for me, but we have that same roomy toe box because we share that exact same outsole, and we are pretty dang flexible as well. So in my opinion, there's a lot to like when it comes to this Chelsea boot. Again, I love the way it looks. I love the convenience of it slipping on and off. I love the DNA that it gets from the Primal Zen. And I think its performance is pretty good, especially when you cross-reference it with its relative versatility. With my likes of the Chelsea boot out of the way, now I'm going to pass things over to Eric to talk about his likes.
Alright, the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to my likes of the Lems Chelsea boot is how it looks. I think it is a great looking boot. It can definitely be dressed up, and it can definitely be casual for you too. I love that versatility. So I like that this boot is waterproof as well, because that extends its use cases to rainy or snowy days. They do have a Chelsea on the website that isn't waterproof, and I have no idea why you would consider getting that one. Having this thing be waterproof is far superior. So actually I have been really impressed with their waterproofing. We had somebody comment and ask if that elastic part was waterproof, and I had my doubts at first, but I ran it under the sink for 10 to 30 seconds and it kept everything inside perfectly dry. And then you can see all these shots here of the water that I put them through while I went on a short hike with them, and even through all of this water my feet stayed perfectly dry. So the waterproofing, as expected from Lems, is top notch. One last thing that I like about the shoe here, and this isn't going to be common for a lot of Chelsea boots out there because they really are like dress shoes, is that this one is built, like we said, on the same footbed as the Primal Zen, which is a little bit more of an athletic footbed. And so this one actually can perform, at least on like light to easy trails. I wouldn't take it on anything technical or anything hard, especially with the elastic that it has. It's not going to be very secure on your foot, but the fact that it has that outsole that's that rubber and it's fairly grippy means that you definitely could take it on like a light hike and then take it right into the city for a nice formal date. So that is something that I think is cool about it. All right, before sending it over to Chris to talk about his dislikes, we did want to feature a few affiliates that the channel has going on right now.
Are you looking to take your barefoot shoe experience to another level? Then you're gonna need a solid pair of toe socks that lets you take advantage of all that toe box. We love Creeper's Toe Socks, a sock that beat out 6 other toe sock brands in a comparison video we did that you can see through the card up in the corner. Whether it's cold or hot, whether you're hiking, running, or lounging, Creeper's Toe Socks will ensure that your feet stay comfy, dry, and healthy. If you're interested in checking out Creepers, head down to the link in the description and use our discount code to save yourself 15% off at checkout. Need a barefoot shoe to replace your Vans or Chuck Taylors? Splay Shoes has the widest toe box and the most minimal soles we've found in a casual canvas shoe. With their new leather variations added to the mix, you can dress them up really nicely too. I actually love Splays as a go-to lifting shoe, and they are one of the most wallet-friendly barefoot brands available on the market. If you're interested in checking out Splay Shoes, head down to the link in the description where we also have a discount code that will save you 10%. Also, click the card you can see now up in the corner to navigate over to a playlist for all of our Splay shoe reviews. Talking about my dislikes of the Chelsea boot, the first one I want to mention is the outsole. So as much as I love this outsole for the Primal Zen, I think they might have wanted to go with something a little bit more aggressive for a boot specifically. This is another Lems offering that I absolutely love. It is the Primal Pursuit Mid Waterproof, and as you'll see on the bottom here, we've got these nice grippy but somewhat minimal and flat-ish teeth. We found the grip of these specific shoes to be fantastic in our review. You can hit this card to go and check that out. I would have loved to see that grip pattern on the bottom of these shoes. Now, that would have required them to take this and widen it a little bit in order to put it on, because those are in the middle category of Lems wideness scale, and these are on the widest side of that scale. So they would have had to make some differences there, but I think these would be a little bit more versatile if they had just a little bit more grip. Now, I'm not saying that these need enough grip for you to go hiking in or anything like that, but I think they need more for the conditions that they've been beefed up for. I would love to wear these for something like shoveling snow because of how easy on and off they are, how relatively comfortable in the cold they are as well, but I just don't trust the grip. The next thing I want to talk about is the volume. So I found that these were a little bit tight on the top of my feet, which is not something I've experienced before with a Lems offering. Part of that's probably because this is the only one that I have from Lems that doesn't have laces. So the tightness along the top of the foot here is what it is. Now, the one thing that you can do, you take that insole out and it gives you ample space. So taking that insole out, it didn't make it too roomy, it made it just right for me. And that's really it for me. Those are my two biggest dislikes, which is funny because coming into this, I wasn't super excited, but then I got them and I tried them on and I found the situations that I like to use them for, and now I'm really, really happy that I have them. I find this to be just another winner from Lems. Definitely could use some improvements, but I would recommend this to anybody who's looking for a weatherproof, easy on, easy off, stylish looking fall, winter, early spring kind of footwear. Now I'm gonna pass things over to Eric to talk about his dislikes of the Lems Chelsea boot.
All right, when it comes to my dislikes of the shoe, it's super hard to pick anything out about this thing. I think for the purpose that it's built, it does its job magnificently, and I really, really enjoy it. The only thing that's happened to me that's been a negative experience is that I used some otter wax on it to condition the leather, and it turned really dark. So this is actually a brown shoe. On camera, it looks even more black than it does in person, but honestly, after I used it, it darkened up so much that sometimes I look at it and I'm like, dang, that almost looks like Chris's, which is the black one, but this is a brown one, and I liked that brown color on it, so that might be something to consider there. If you have an alternative to otter wax, if you're going to condition these, that might be best. But that's really the only thing that I can think of. I highly recommend this boot if you're looking for a Chelsea specifically, and if you're just looking for a really convenient, good looking barefoot boot, then this is a tough one to beat. Back over to Chris now so that he can close out the video for us.
Folks, if you liked this video, we would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. There are a handful of different places where you can get more content from us, especially more daily content. One is Patreon, where you'll get the most exclusive behind the scenes and up-to-date looks at the products that we're working with and what we're using those products for. So if you're interested in checking that out, head down to the link in the description. It'll take you over to our Patreon page where there is some free sample content posted already, so you can see what that content looks like, decide if it's worth following along with us, and then it is only $1 to access that exclusive content on our Patreon page. You can also follow along with us on Instagram and Strava. Instagram is where I am posting the unboxing videos of all these products as they're coming into us, so you can see our first looks and first impressions of these products. And then Strava is a really cool platform where you can track pretty much any activity you're doing, whether it's running, lifting weights, paddleboarding. They have a whole bunch of different options on there. You can share that with your followers, and you can see and follow other people's activity, see the products that they're using during those activities as well, and basically build a community of outdoor and activity-minded enthusiasts. We'd really appreciate a follow on both Instagram and Strava, and would love to see the kinds of things that you're currently doing and the products you're using to do those things. We're grateful that you're here. We appreciate your view, and as always, we will catch you in the mountains.